nation, we believe will boost foreign exchange inflows, stabilize exchange rates, and minimize its path through to domestic inflation. So basically what we are saying here is that we believe very strongly that these measures will help to stabilize the foreign exchange rate, and indeed will help to minimize the distortions that the high exchange rate has into inflation, because they are closely related. Indeed, we have already started, these measures have already started yielding early results, and this is early time. And I couldn't agree more with the Minister of Finance with respect to the issue of the timing of reforms. That, frankly, there is no magic wand, unfortunately. These are issues we have to grapple with over a period of time, a long period of time. And all we can do is try to use techniques, tools which we believe are taking us in the direction and moderate the concerns that we've all heard today. And I say that we've already started to see, we want to see shifts in a positive direction. Indeed, the already started to early results with significant interest from foreign portfolio investors, which was a concern, that have already begun to supply a much needed foreign exchange to the economy. For example, over the past few days, we have had over $1 billion that have come into the market. Over $1 billion. This, quite frankly, is the answer to the question. Because the question was raised as to how do we know that your policies are working, and in fact we were challenged to say that in fact they are not. And I would argue that with the numbers speaking and saying what is going on, the market has been responding to the policies that we have put in place. Our measures aimed at improving US dollar supply into the Nigerian economy has significant potential in taming the volatility of the exchange rates and in turn moderating inflation. However, for these measures to be sustainable, we must, as a country, moderate our demand for foreign exchange. And distinguished members, I could not re-emphasize this. You see, there's so much the central bank can do with tools. We are working very hard. To bring back credibility to the central bank and to bring back credibility to many of the investors that have decided over the years, because of policies that were not illegal, to go elsewhere. Because with investors, I always say that investors go to where the environment is living. You don't have to beg anyone. You really don't have to beg. If you're doing the right things, investors will come. And I couldn't agree more, honestly, on the distinguished senator who spoke and emphasized on the issue of transparency. I couldn't agree more. That is what is going to bring the needed inflows into our economy. Because for people to invest, they've got to take you seriously and believe that what you say is the right thing. And that they're not going to tell their stories anytime after. And that's about to also go and we'll talk about some of the other things that we will hear as well. We'll answer specifically a number of the other issues that aren't covered here. We will do it. But I also want to say that in establishing credibility, there are certain things that we need to do. For example, the issue of the past due obligations, the forwards. We needed to ensure that we would deal with them in an open and transparent manner. And it is for that reason we got the highly renowned Deloitte management to come and look at and we worked on the outcome of their report. And as I said earlier, we've already moved towards settling a substantial number, and right now we are down to a more manageable figure. Of course, the laws have been asked with respect to those that were within the infracted category, which we are looking at very closely, and those who are responsible will be sanctioned accordingly. In simple sentence, we must understand. Let me go back. The demand, let me go back. However, for these levels to be sustainable, we must, as a country, complete our demand for efforts. And this is very important. Honestly, CPN has no magic wand. We do not have. Our responsibility is in the process. If foreign exchange comes into us, we manage it in a way that is the best interest of the country, and we do not have excessive volatility. Okay. That's one. Our argument on the demand side is that we as Nigerians also must work together to moderate demand. Where there are opportunities for us to substitute locally, so we should. A couple of days ago, I made reference to the fact that a substantial amount of our foreign exchange over the course of the past few years have gone into medical and education. Okay. And that in fact, the total quantum was more than ourselves. And I said that to people's minds and start to think, well, maybe there are things we could do differently. Maybe there are things we can do differently. There was a lot of buzz on the social media, oh, we say this, that we say the other ones. That's not my point. The market will always determine what it wants. But I do believe that if we are able to up again in the area of medical education, helping for people to go abroad and spend so much money will not arise. It will not. And I was also say that I'm very encouraged also that some very top people in the private sector who are not feeling from anywhere and sending messages to say, look, we heard your statements and we went back to think that maybe the way we itself, which is exactly what I'm saying, it will also include actions by corporates and individuals to reduce our frequent demand for the dollar for business and for personal needs. I would like to underscore the importance of the ongoing collaboration between the fiscal and monetary authorities, and particularly progress made on tackling a number of issues challenging our economy today. I couldn't overemphasize this. We are in the ministry, we are constantly in touch with the ministries of budget and planning, and of course the Ministry of Finance, and more recently also the Ministry of Agriculture. We consider our function, in addition to everything else, as being advisors to government. And we are right now trying to strengthen that capacity to ensure that at the end of the day we can provide that very safely. The movement, Further collaboration between NNPC and the central bank is also a major step in that direction. And we're very happy that we have that opportunity to be of service to NNPC. And we also recognize that in keeping with that relationship, so also a challenge to ensure that we can meet all the demands at all points in time is heightened. In conclusion, distinguished senators, we understand the economic cost of these developments, not just for the economy, but also as they affect the ordinary Nigerians. And I always say this, monetary policies are no monetary policies if they do not impact the people down the line. They are no monetary policies. So we must bear this in mind anytime we are putting the monetary policy tools into effect. And I have absolutely no doubt that with the MPC meeting that is going to take place at the end of February, it will be clear of the direction that the monetary policy is going. However, as I have mentioned in previous engagements, these costs are temporary, and our decisions will address a lot of fundamental issues governing Nigeria's macroeconomic landscape and ultimately put us on a surer path to prosperity. What do I mean by this in addition to everything else? It is that the monetary side can do so much. The fiscal side also has a major part of it. The monetary side must help in cushioning the volatilities, but ultimately a lot of things that have been said by the honorable ministers today as a beginning to moderate the inefficiencies in our system. I look forward to providing more of the answers. I will be providing more of the answers having been touched here between my colleague here, the Deputy Governor of Economic Policy, and myself. So, thank you, Excellencies, Honorable Chairs, distinguished senators, good morning. Taking a few of the questions that were raised, and particularly not in any order. First is the issue of the 43 items. I think this has come up a number of times, and when we visit the bank, we realize that the bank has been involved in a number of areas which were not really central bank. One of those is trade policy. Central banks do not have responsibility for trade policy. Trade policy is a fiscal issue. And what happened was that 43 items were identified and denied foreign exchange. They were not banned. They were not banned from the borders. So that's 43 items that were actually 936 products from HS Group. And what resulted in was that the items actually never stopped being imported. But the country collectively lost $1.4 billion between 2015 and 2019 because of the FX and of these items. The second part is that we actually feared inflation, but increased the prices of these products. And when we went to work with the ecosystem to ensure that the market is functioning. And many of the discussions that were represented under the market were not wanted to remove. And so this issue we discussed with the fiscal authority, that my understanding is that there is a process now going through all the items to actually identify which ones need trade action and which ones do not. So that is the first one. The second point is on the foreign exchange backlogs. In September, there was discussions around $7 billion of FX backlog transactions that the CBN was obligated to be. In some international conversations, it was taken up all the way to $10 to $11 billion. So when we went to the first condition was to ascertain how much is this exactly. And when we, after ascertaining, we commenced the process where we said, okay, how do we do assessing this for us in a way that is fair?
fourth came about by every month or so, the CPA will do auctions for forex. This auction allowed customers to pay through their banks. The banks will submit the goods, but the transaction had to be trade back, meaning that you either come from A or from M. So a lot of these transactions were then starting from page 21, and 23 were the ones that were outstanding. We started the process and then we engaged the banks to actually discuss this issue. And the banks themselves told us that there was a point where we would get called by the CPN to see if we can award 10 million, 20 million without giving any recommendation. So it's great that around with us, and we immediately engaged George Consulting to forensically verify these things. And what came out was the number of transactions. Infraction number one was where customers who had not even paid for anything would get allocated $5 million or $10 million, and those were implemented. The other infraction was where customers who had paid for $200,000 would get $10 million awarded. The other infraction was for customers who were buying items, or these items. So all these infractions have been calculated. I want to have now going to the revision of the banks to say, explain this process, do not keep that as a plan. Many of them have responded that this is the process that we have going through these resources that are showing that what we are going to pay if we want to value, and then for the rest of it, we will discuss with law enforcement on how to take this forward. In terms of investments, what I already talked about, but let me just say one quickly. At this time last year, the foreign exchange market, the official market, was trading $16 million, $16 million a day. And high point $12 million. In fact, as research has been also, the highest figure of about $110 million. For the past 2 weeks now, the least has been traded with the foreign market $400 million, which was $5 million later. So supply is coming back to the market in terms of reference. In terms of the other parts of supply, the distribution, we're working on the remittances with IMT. Last year, IMT brought back $3.2 billion to the country. In truth, the amount is closer to $18-20 billion. But the reason why this never showed up in the statistics is because of the policies that CBN put in that capped how we would constitute 2.5% cost of hires. We remove that from IMT in the next week, and we can see the flows already picking up. In terms of inflation, I believe the government answered quite a bit of it. But the issue with inflation is that what we have witnessed in November, inflation actually reduced, core inflation. The rate at which it was increasing actually went down. What happened was that in December, it went back up, and usually in December, inflation takes up because of the festivities. We are hoping that over the next 2 quarters, we will be able to get inflation down, as the number has said, some 20%, So I think I'll stop here, except if there's any particular question that we have. Let's Mr. Chairman, distinguished invited guests, my name is David Yeshua, representing the Good People for ourselves, our member of the source. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, representative guests, ambassadors, my name is Senator G. I
security areas. Distinguished Chairman and Co-Chairman for this contest, I'm Senator Draghi. I represent the national. Mr. Chairman, distinguished senators, invited guests, my name is Jide Igbinada from Ondo Senatorial District. I am Senator of the I attend South Central District of the state and I'm seriously here.
Yes. Let's bring it up. Bring it up. Give me one.
Abdul Ahmed, representing Party Central Party State. Elvis Davis, Bayelsa West, Bayelsa West.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And who said that Mohammed, member of both
Mr. Chairman of the Party, yes, by Senator Laura Smart, the Vice Chairman of this committee. Good morning, everybody. My name is Senator Neko, and I'm representing Delta State. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very good colleagues, our invited guests, and Mrs. Elios. I feel that Solomon Olamide. I represent the good people of Owerri Senatorial District, and I chair the Senate Cultural Corporation. Good morning. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, I was invited guests. Just be brief on question directly. I will be very brief. Let me start by congratulating the Minister of Agri. I will start by commending the government in taking that proactive action and measures to address the food shortage through the composition of the committee and also giving directive for the release of 102 metric tons from the food reserve, because this is what the reality now. And all suggestions that have been put forward by the colleagues is for the future and going into the future, and it's expected that the Minister of Agriculture should take into action and ensure all these suggestions are duly given attention. Having said that, let me also add that there is need for us to provide security for our farmland, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. A lot of these farmers are no longer into their farms due to insecurity. This is one area that I want us to look into by providing adequate security measures across the farmland, across the country, especially those that are big ones, to address this problem of food shortages. Because nobody will go to any farm and is not secure. Nobody. So we should please move toward that direction. So any plan we are doing in the area of increasing the food production of Australia, security should also form part of the strategy. To the central bank government, I have listened with great attention. Yes, to some of the comments, I'm happy with what I'm hearing. Because in the past, I continue to wonder the kind of intervention being required by central banks. For instance, the National Art Theatre, central bank is paying millions of dollars to take over central bank, National Art Theatre. At a point, there are millions of rights in Nigeria, central bank, the foreign intervention program. And so many other interventions that are unwarranted. So listen to you today saying that you are taking your hands off all those kind of interventions. Only more advice people. I think it's the right step in the right direction. Also, you talk about transparency. I want to please you. The budget of Central Bank must be submitted before the National Assembly. That's where transparency is. That is where transparency is. In the past, the former Central Bank governor will be known from pillar to post when we ask for the budget of the Central Bank. And we are told that our 2.3 or 2.4 trillion budget side every financial year. And I believe that I want to talk about transparency and say that totally agree. I think that is one step that we should look at. Again, I want you to tell Nigerians, where are we going to see the effect of all these efforts that you have put into trying to reduce the effects of these forex or the exchange rates? I quite agree with you. We are now living normal Nigeria. In the past, we are borrowing money to suppress dollars, doing regressive. So this simple action of great unification that is causing all this inconsistency we are seeing, this is the real Nigeria. I can vividly recollect former Central Bank governor in one of his engagements, he told me that he doing a lot to ensure that the dollar weight is strengthening. And doing that was borrowing any available form of anywhere to suppress dollar from going up. Now, this administration I say, I can hold on that. I don't want to do that. Let dollar float on the normal rate. And that is the challenges we are facing. Because then we are doing progressive. Now we are where we're supposed to be. But the only thing I thought, and everybody here also raising, that we must provide short absorber to reduce this pain for Nigerians. And that is what all of us collectively must now look into. How do we address this situation? Saying most of what we do in the past have been dedicated on us and not on them. You said something about education, that if we can do so much in education, we'll be able to address the issue of students traveling abroad. Our people university, those brought out their list of pay. It's $12,000. It was advertised in the newspaper on TV. The total tuition fee $12,000 in Nigeria, where we only spend and cover. So when we are doing more in this regard, we must look at it and be holistically to address this issue of strategies we are talking about. To the Minister of Finance, I want to strongly as chairman, that's why I'm taking the opportunity. Now to the Minister of Finance, I want to applaud all the be the synergy between the monetary and financial policy. Once the synergy is there, that our issue or our problem will be reduced to the very anymore. Because at every point in time, joint decision, joint policy, making everything will take place. The CBN has admitted the fact that the only advisory group, well, the coordinating minister will not be in charge of direct affairs and give direction to the economy. So Chairman, and other members of the committee for giving me this platform. Thank you very Let me start by saying, let me start by saying that those who have the responsibility to manage Nigeria economy at this point, they have my sympathies. If you do like that, you can continue from where what you inherited by hand. If you also do after long, you also sit down. But that is the price of leadership. I have just one question and finish up comments. My colleagues have spoken about a number of economic issues, the reserve of the country, the FPC rate. But for people in Abeokuta, and their counterparts in Abeokuta, and those in Benin, they do not care about the FPC rates that the government will. They are not at home nonsense of the foreign reserve. The question they want me to ask the economic chief, when will this be subsided? That's why the principles that we are doing, the question we want is, when will this begin to materialize in their 1 year and their 1 year? Take short comments. Number one, what we have not seen is unified communication. If you are not a senator with the opportunity of seeing the minister and seeing the governor address the issue together, what we hear is the CBN governor making some pronouncements, very thoughtful pronouncements on the rights. The honorable minister will also address the issue of physical. The minister of agriculture will say, when will the economic team come together as one team and address the nation together? Not in circumstance, not in purposes like this, when they will come together and say we want to address the country on the challenges of our economy and what we are doing to address them. The second comment is also the fact that hundreds of Africans in the general commercial and services it is good. But we need to also take this conversation down with people who are feeling the pains. We need to find a way of communicating to our people and grassroots and local level. We need to take this conversation with states to the zonal level for people to understand what our issues are and what the expenses are going to be. Finally, finally. The 2024 budget and passed by the National Assembly. We passed the budget even with years of efforts. That budget could have experienced more scrutiny than we give to it because of the short period. It's time now for us to begin to look at budgets and remember the powerful areas that give support and solid to our people. And focus on them, both our implementation and finance, and looking for other ministers also getting. Everybody when will this way subside? Thank you.
Chairman, the real presentation concerns the position of the secret community. This is correct. Yes, those are some of the minister of convention economy are working very well. But this is important for us to make the nation back. The law is happening in the country. You can see many people coming out. We can't talk, we can't go, we can't do this. So many people involved who have a new level of education because of housing. And is not the same. The people that are mostly force. And we need to be in someone's show with us. That's only when you have hope. Hope that's within the measure. We look at the direction of some direction here. It's having a lot of impact in the new crisis that's going on in the country. So for those who are able to protect the people, we must live together. We must communicate this work how well we're doing. We must communicate to our people. In the past, I thought there was a time when I had regional people. Now, this is the core community. To communicate to people who have like town policy, where everybody will go and will see, and to hear from people that are managing the country. And this is the way we need them to connect very well with the country. And I think this is something I think we should celebrate, or we should do, to be able to communicate to our people what's in front of you, and what that is so close to them, so we can be peace. Thank you. And I also appreciate it. And I hope we can share that. We share all the that's something that people appreciate. And we have a lot of people with love. Thank you for being able to share. Thank you.
C'est-à-dire, vous raise your hand. After him, about no
Thank you very much. My next question is Mr. The National Assembly will make a we said, the last time we came with the Senate, we asked you, there's some good progress. No, you said the balance that are 5,700. So people out there believe the level that are 1,500. We, in Congress system, we are saying 800. Now, the reality is going to that 1,500. Are we sure some people somewhere are not manipulating the system?
Thank you.
My name is two questions. It's about question for the Minister. Mr. Minister, you are congratulating the economy and everything to do with the economy. Various ministries have various programs they are running. Some of these programs we don't even know whether they have required impact. For example, industry use media intends to share 50,000 for people who want to do business who are registered. How much is 50,000 going to be business for everyone? Even that 50,000 is barely $30 or less. So, how are you coordinating all programs for all these ministries targeting at the higher objective of government? Do you have specific dashboards? Your own say, I just want to say, this is what is happening, I know that they great. No, you can't do that. Move this way. We need to know what's I usually keep the city best in for us around every day, sometimes after you have finished the course. Now the secretaries who are here, they are trying to show up the city for best in for us. For which I know, and the fish for a long time. We are still teaching everybody knows. No, why can't you plan? I was thinking that we plan for the racing farmers. So every to be in place for the racing farmers. Let's farmers who sell from Zebra. Since the stories. I'm giving you this. And then I want to say that I was special for them. Planting will begin way after the school to the next hours. And then after this, what is called NPO, we will give the rest of our society. So that we have a more sheet of
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished senators, and our invited, my question goes to the governor of Central Bank. I want to believe that extraordinary problem will require extraordinary solution. The position we find ourselves now is a situation where we need to put in place a solution that is extraordinary. It doesn't take more than a month for dollars to naira to increase astronomically from 750 where we are operating for providing our budget here from 750 today we are looking at 1,500. Now when we get to our people in Owo, my people in Akoko, my people in Ose, they will ask question. When is dollar going to come down to what is appreciable? I want us today, instead of seeing this matter as mere academic exercise, so many presentations have been made here, beautiful, but we have to look at this presentation. I want us to go out from this auditorium with a categorical answer that in the next moment, that we are going to work out something that the whole Nigeria will be happy with us. Instead of us coming to say yes, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. So it is good. If they look so, this request I do so that was that the other time. We need to talk about everywhere.
Question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished colleagues. I have just one quick observation, and it corrects on the back of the comments made by Senator next to me. The big question is, what is the political impact? I know the politicians here, but the people at home are hungry and they are tired of sandbags. We really need to give them a clear signal that things are going to get better soon. One such example, if I can posit my own view, is a sustained and substantial appreciation of the naira that leads Nigerians to know that we are moving in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I have just three brief questions. Please. The Minister of Finance, we are aware
there is a solid mineral development fund. And consistently, maybe I want to stand up to because I'm short. Consistently, the solid mineral sector has been funded for the years. And this is one sector that is supposed to generate huge sums of money for Nigeria. What is being done with the solid mineral funds? Because the solid mineral sector is suffering. And we are aware that years of naira, if not dollars, being years in, year out, nothing has been done. Then the second question is to the Minister of Agriculture. It's likely that the federal government is saying in terms of grains, pushing it of what is currently going on. What measures are you putting in place?
They have to pay.
One, you have to place. Two, what measures are you putting in place to make sure that this is not being full or and the central government, I've not had from your speech, I've not had from us short-term, medium-term, long-term plan for the stabilization of forests.
Thank you.
I would actually want to speak. I Your Excellencies, the mechanics continues, and it is a typical Nigerian thing. The nation's financial management for us, and they are made to it. But one of the talking points that I have not had been mentioned either for them or for us is the issue of the criminalization of the land. Fact, in the last 10 years, nobody takes pride by dollars. Nobody gives pride by dollars. Sufficiently we know that addressing because most of us are affected because of the war. Secondly, what guarantee for the CND to go back is core mandate of the American banker. The vaccinating of the data actually starts from the CBN and because sufficient people that are in government today and in government the last decade are involved and have had the executive organization billions of dollars being swept away through the CBN. And the implementation and education. Apart from the legal, government has been called out, and if you continue like this, Nigeria can be going nowhere. The fact of the matter is that we must be more accountable, more serious, because it is really fact for us here to know the issues of monetary and fiscal skill. You have the best credentials. We know you. We know where you are coming from. When I sit here and say that we buy congratulations to you, you can select it because you are the very best at that moment. Please take it out of and send it to have a good pleasure.
I'm going to pass the results to you. I can tell you. I can introduce myself. The issues of holding that are made very minute. What is happening in this country? The pastor is not asked. People are killing the rest because they know nothing will happen to them. I just speak that. Because of the solution. This issue of data right and data taking is for talk. Support talk. That's all. I'm really participation because Nigeria is away so much of this meeting going on here. We are going on now, and we are here. There is some returns. There was action, and I want to ask when is our return going to start working? One question. Because this will reduce when are we going? It's not only pass in our refineries. No, the auditor everyone seminar on this country. You need to tell us when this 4 liter is going to be stopped. The buyer must not tell us how much what is taking out. And finally, to the civil government. You just mentioned our education and have taken substantial amounts of our dollars. I didn't say anything on the matter of importation because I believe that is where we have problem. Manufacturing sector not working. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Co-Chairman. The Senior Governor and the Minister of Finance. Last week, there was a news around that people that took some dollars from the government and they are negotiating to bring back $25 million. Is it true? If it is true, what are we going to be thank you. So, no worry. That is what it is. And correspondingly, so much and unfortunately, they have not even increased the salaries of workers, salaries of women's workers. When are we going to have salaries of women's workers increase? In view of the fact that so much culture is now going to feature for them. And this question is the concern now in the sequel, particularly on the areas of imported goods. Virtually every week, the rate of the computation is being changed. It was 420 before, 78, it came to 720. Then now it's 1,440 naira per dollar. The rate that used to compute imports. And I understand that normally, whenever imported
always build their roofs. The rate that you can should be the rate that should be used for the community use. Why is the change now?
So the category is very good. That will be fast.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my respected colleagues. I'm Senator Lindsay from Kasela South. What is fundamental and very important today is to put this nation in a more respective and more responsive approach. CBN governor and the finance minister of this new government, you have a responsibility to tell Nigerians where is the NNPC money is going, because the former governor of Central Bank is always asking on where is the dollars going. So this is one of the challenges we are having now in Nigeria, because this dollarization issue as a nation that has more than 200 million people, we are not supposed to depend on dollar. We are supposed to supply our naira. We are supposed to put one addition to our currency. And if the previous government doesn't have the listening eye, so I believe you have the listening eye now to listen to the people of Nigeria. And it is very fundamental and important, since the Minister of Agriculture is here. Agriculture is a key to success of the economy of this country. If we can be reasonable enough, we will have a food security for this country. We cannot depend on importation. We are supposed to put our economy into an export-oriented economy for the betterment of the economy. I think it's a duty, it's a responsibility on us. The budget minister is also here. If you look at the current inflationary problem, I think the budget we have drawn is as good as a wasted budget, because most of the things are done more than 100% or 200%. So it is important you work with the committee, various committees of the legislature, to ensure stability and responsibility of this renewal we have as an APC member. Thank you, Mr. President.
If you recall, when you were here for the screening and confirmation, I asked a question about interest rates. That was never answered. I hope we have the chance this morning to address it. Why is it that in Nigeria we use everything to market forces? I know the Bible will tell you that market forces without temporary. But it doesn't. We don't really have regulated market forces. What we need to do in Nigeria is what happens in the UK and America. The central banks should control interest rates. That is the only way we can create a credit economy, by enabling consumers to borrow. If consumers are not able to borrow, the economy is going to be just the way it is now. So, what are you going to do as a governor of to encourage borrowing in Nigeria? That is number one. Number two, there's something that also I find it difficult to understand, which is the fact that there are discriminatory payments for salaries in Nigeria. We're talking about not relying on dollars, on there. Why is it acceptable to you or to the finance minister or even to the president? That's foreign workers in Nigeria. And they is
those questions.
foreign contractors in Nigeria are paying dollars, which is a huge waste on the dollar resources. Why does this happen? You can't go to America and experience distribution payments in any currency other than the local currency. I think this is actually addressed and addressed and I think it's unacceptable, it is discriminatory, it is obnoxious, and it has to stop as quickly as possible. The third question has to do with importation of goods. So why do we not consider the fact that time has come to ban the importation of goods and encourage local manufacturing and local production? This is the only way we can do as a nation. If we keep relying on the importation of goods, all goods have been found and that is the problem of capital flow because of illegal. That can be done. That just when I want to know that this country, that's no more treatment at work. And of course, what you must make sure that you build up the medical facilities in our hospitals. That can be done. So why is that not done? Thank you.
Thank you. Last, so that we can get answer to the discussion that yes, let the co-chair thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm very distinguished for our advice and guests. We are listening to everybody, but this is the also the legislature. And one thing we want to say is that these are opportunities for us to address and and we have listened without attention. However, we are very committed government on some of the issues that have recently been carried out, like single window initiative is a welcome with the government. And the results are working by NAPC to ensure that all the revenues from sales of grocery to central Nigeria, these are steps in the right direction. We want to hear more of this. We want to listen to you. Please don't really continue engagement because we are all Nigerians and we deserve to have our countries back. And I want to say that on this side of the back, we are ready to put out there a new legislation that assists this current administration to address all the economic challenges when it comes to modernization. Once again, I will bless for the opportunity and the issue that you have missed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my distinguished colleagues, our private guests. Our work has started, which is to acknowledge the fact that part of the challenges that are confronting us today are actually not the making of this current administration. I want that general to doing is to realize or realign all of this distorted macroeconomic indices that directing the economic program. So we salute the courage of the current administration. We know that also will come with some pain, and that's what we are doing. And again, even for the economic team, let us start with the comment that I had of the Minister of Finance and also from the Governor of Central Bank. We salute all of your voters and all of the encouragement we are giving in terms of finding solutions. And as in particular,
acknowledge part of what I have on something of influence of the collaboration we are beginning to see between the monetary and fiscal side. I think these are exemplified out of what we see tolerance and the senior and all of that. And we believe we should continue to work along that. And for me, it is very, very important because what you expect from the CBN, what they don't expect. You know, it's a collaboration that provides a very true rational information so that the fiscal side can continue to go on path of economic growth. I think that we need for but then what I was also, based on there will be relations also that are asked, which I'm not sure of properly what they are going to address. And they will relate to what is expected in our economy, which is how do we moderate inflation. I said in my opening remarks, I made mention of the damage that we have in the called ways and means of execution is a major discussion. Mr. Governor, I think there's a response for that. You also alluded to the third trillion again that also was done and was abused in terms of intervention and all of that. These are things that are creating the problem around inflation. If we do not have a solution for those things, honestly, we will still be struggling. I need us to really think deeper about how to do it. It is discussing the conclusion of the inflation levels. It is discussing even interest rates in the system and it is also mounting pressure on this side. So and last, I also think for the Minister of Finance and Minister of Budget, I also think that you should also explain to us now that the budget is dedicated to date what we have in our local platform. The difference, I will also use it to reduce the rundown deficit in the 2024 budget. So that again, we do not compound the inflation pressure that we have. So that notes our very few all that we have, and I hope I don't see people for so many so thank you very much.
My distinguished colleagues, honorable ministers, and distinguished guests, I think we have spoken of the Minister for the Economy, Minister of National Planning, Agriculture, and the Governor of Central Bank. I believe that there is hope. The new hope man that I'm talking about actually was both everything we had here. Implementing them, I believe within a very short time we'll be able to reach where we want to see ourselves. But yes, I would like the economy to take this back. The issue of inflation which CBN is addressing, I think CBN needs to do more in that aspect. They need to do more. And in the area where we're taking money from LMS, especially on the school of sales, I think it's very detrimental to this country. Because at the end of the day, you will see that what the country is getting back or paying back is something which by the time we are paying back that it does not translate to us getting to fill the gap that we expected. Because if you look at it today, the $3.8 billion that we are taking, it has not changed everything in terms of foreign exchange. It is supposed to. So I don't know where that money goes to. Is it part of the money that is it part of the money that you get on that forward communication that we have? And then the one area that we must look at in order to solve some of the multiple problems that we have, especially in practice of programs. First of all, from the some-stage work, where there is everything for practice, the rules are almost everywhere. We need to do something, especially the Abuja, Kaduna, Cairo roads. We need to complete this. We need to also look at the Niger Beach. You don't see critical items, critical projects, lots of money, everywhere. We have to think for a very long time. I think there is need for us to do it because more of this money is going. I was given a report for analysis for the rate of 200 and something, 700 and something. Now they are asking for 1.8 trillion. We are having ourselves. So I think the team is all here. I must commend the president because he has taken the whole at home in some of the decisions that he has taken himself. It is not for us to be able to implement those things to reality. So with this, I thank you all at least for listening to us. Thank you.
When you online for this, thank you very much. Joint Chairman Steve Bishop, members of this very important committee. Let me start by thanking you for this opportunity. And the first thing I would say is just reflect on what, in terms of takeaways, what the governor of Central Bank has said here. About inflation, he has been very clear about the direction and even the quantum that inflation will be down substantially this year. And of course, we know what that means for exchange rate stability and even for the rate itself. So I think those are very clear takeaways that we can take from a monetary side. I'm sure we all like him, and I'm sure we all wish him the very best in the strategies that are being implemented. And of course, we know it's a team effort. On the fiscal side, it's important to say that there is that collaboration, there is that synergy, and of course, in terms of building up oil revenue as well as non-oil revenue, the direction is clear, the achievements are already there. I won't disclose them, but I assure you, the figures are going up substantially, as predicted in the budget. May I just respond quickly to the issue of the funding of we call it pre-export financing. It's not just a straight loan, it's pre-export financing. It is very well priced. It is below the pricing of Nigerian Eurobond. So it's a cheaper form of financing. It is over 5 years, and the repayment is about in addition to the principal, is about $1 billion or so, which is 200 million per year. So the figures that have been banded, I wonder why people do that. But people that said that we are paying back 4 times the amount we borrowed, it's like saying that somebody who pledges his house for, I don't know, 400 million and borrows 100 million, that is going to be paid for. That's just the way I can put that scenario. Above all, let me finish by also echoing what the governor of Central Bank said about transparency. It is critical to credibility and to everything that we are doing under the able leadership of Mr. President. So you will see in due course things like these ways, the vex, ways and means, these huge figures, we will, just as the governor of Central Bank has subjected the backlog of 4 payments, he has subjected it to audit. We too will scrutinize that figure that we inherited in terms of ways and means. And likewise, as the Senator said, must ensure that the funds that NNPC earns are clear to all, they are transparently handled, and they are fully accounted for. And in that direction, there will also be action taken to ensure the faithfulness in that all-important area of this country's oil revenue. Once again, Joint Chairman, distinguished senators,
thank you very much, National Planning Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and also Chairman and distinguished senators. Let me join the Committee Minister of the Economy in appreciating all of you. Today, despite the eagerness to confront some of the challenges that are facing us, all of you commendably appreciated that the bold choices that were made were necessary to the position and our country. However, choices that are made or not made or are being made occasionally require deliberation and other supportive measures in order for the years to be met. We feel very encouraged, and I'm sure we'll do more under the leadership of the coordinating Minister of the Economy to take on board all those suggestions so that we will continue to interrogate what we are doing so as to deliver on the promises that have been made and on the achievement that we believe we have turned the bend and we are on our way to progress. We appreciate the urgency to do some more intervention in order to ensure that the positive effects are met. There was a direct question on the effect on the 2024 budget. Even when the budget was brought, we appreciated that this work in progress, just like the made itself. When we brought the budget, we brought it with the exchange rate, for example, of 750. In your wisdom, you increased. And Mr. President graciously recognized that democracy is a give and take. Institutions matter. He accepted and signed into law. Today, exchange rates have moved because Central Bank rightfully in the exercise of its own mandate to study, and we are studying the effect, and we will calibrate with your support as always and ensure that we respond appropriately. Exchange rate for budget purposes is computed on an average basis, not on a spot basis. We are not where we are, but we hope with all the measures that have been taken, inflation will moderate, and the discretionary effect of those movements will be less. I think Senator Alero and Senator Alu made the show. Can we use, Senator Alu more particularly, can we use the additional revenue to lower debt service? Unfortunately, when exchange rate moves, it also has consequential effects on other prices, particularly fuel prices, electricity subsidy. Now, we hope this will abate so that it will not complicate the budget implementation process. With your support, the country is turning the bend. Measures that have been taken, of which we are actually the budget and economic planning has been provided for all meetings by the coordinating
Minister of the Economy, both in infrastructure, agriculture, power and irrigation. I'm sure the results will be seen immediately. Thank you.
Thank you very much, I wanted also for those who brothers to thank you profoundly for this occasion. One of the right direction so the food security problem is I would like to highlight a very important aspect.
Demand begins to come to a level that is sustainable. Because even if the central bank is able to moderate through tools the value of the exchange rate, if these other things don't kick in over a period of time, they might have to leave, but we go back to the same old situation. So you have an exchange rate that is at a certain level, you're happy, you go away. But if other issues go up, some of which have been mentioned here today, with respect to productive capacity and all that, then we're just kicking the can further down the line. I think I just want to make that very clear. I will also say something else, and that is the issue of confidence. Because confidence is very important. I assume responsibility in the Apex a few months ago. And at that point in time, there was a crisis of confidence. And I must say that we have worked very hard and very tirelessly to ensure that that crisis of confidence has been diluted and that international investors are happier to come and invest in our economy. And I can tell you that I've seen that result play out. From the time I took office to now, I can see a much greater interest. Investors who will come ask questions, and as you know, foreign investors, they are not emotional about this. They have the right questions, they they've seen how things have played out in other countries, and they can tell whether you are sincere or not. And over a period of time, over the past few months, we have seen an increase in appetite for Nigeria. As a result of which, what you've seen recently, and I don't want us to take it by any sort of imagination, that the volume of trading in the foreign exchange market in the past few days has exceeded what we have seen in years. That is a solid sign of return to confidence in our economy. In addition to that, you will find out that when you look at what the rating agencies, and I know that when they come, they do also sometimes reach out to this distinguished group, they have given us a more positive outlook. Before they said, okay, we're here, now they are saying they can see good efforts and a positive outlook into the future. I have no doubt in my mind that if we continue in this trajectory, we will bring Nigeria back to what we have lost. I have no doubt in my mind. I do accept that in the intervening period, there will be pains. There will be pains. And this is why I took time to mention that inflation will come down significantly between now and the end of the year. I said that. I made that comment. I gave you a figure. What I will just sue for is continued cooperation with the central bank. We need all the help we can get. We are not saying that we have all the answers, we don't. And when we are falling short, we are very happy to be told we are and seeing how we can up the game. We know and we fully appreciate our responsibility to Nigerians. But I also want Nigerians to understand the responsibilities to themselves. Okay, it's not, if you're just looking at the central bank alone, there is a limit to what we can do. We can't do everything. It's a joint collaborative effort, which I'm confident that if we do well, we will get out of the very difficult situation we are in. Already, the signs are showing a positive outcome. So thank you very much for hosting us today, and I look forward to the next event.
It's been quite a long time, but